Do you want to be the best version of yourself, but there's something that's stopping you from being that version that you see within your heart, within your mind, the person that you want to become? If you want to be the best version of yourself, honestly, the first thing, at least for me, was that I needed to let go of what others think about me. Because my actions then revolve around what would this person think of me, which is a safe way to go. How many of you know what I'm talking about, right? Because this is one of the common things that our actions get dominated according to what others are going to think about me. And this literally goes back all the way, maybe like 21 years prior, like 22 years in fact, when I was getting married. And I knew that obviously the family where I was going into, the women really wouldn't work over there. In fact, no women had worked over there, and the ideology was that the men in the house don't want you to go through like a pain, long hours, and if it's the money, we're there to give you. And it was a very different ideology, but it came out of love, right? It came out of love. Okay, so they don't want the women to kind of work hard. And I remember when I got married, my actions and everything was totally driven to please my family, to please my in-laws, like really like a typical Indian bahu, daughter-in-law, right? And there came a point where I was lost. I didn't know who I was. What did I stand for? I mean, I forgot what I even liked, right? Because it was such a big change. I honestly lost the pile that I knew, right? And so then came the time where literally, my husband realized that, what I'm going through. And he was like, it's time to, I think, change our, family's, conditioning or tradition. And you should work because that's what you want to do and you want to become something in life. And then he went again and explained to his family, his parents, who understood my in-laws. And eventually, I think everyone, ended up giving me a thumbs up, like, really supporting me so I could start and do something on my own. In fact, I'm the first woman in their, side of the family to, work. And that was when I started discovering myself all over again. And I realized that I became a better version of myself because I let go of all the inhibitions. I learned to speak up for myself. I had a supporting environment, and that's when I got into banking. I am a banker. I was a banker rather. Got into that and started focusing on my career as well. At the same time, of course, I had my daughter too. So I felt that was one thing that really helped me, is not really focusing about every time what others would think if I do this, what others would think if I do that, because eventually then others are running your life for you, and that's something that you shouldn't be okay with, right? So that's my first lesson. And secondly, honestly, if you want to be a really, really good version or a better, best version of yourself, you need to take charge of your own health. How many of you, generally you leave your health, your workouts, your nutrition, everything literally to the end, and you focus more on the little things that's happening around you, whether it's work, whether it's kids, whether it's, family, whether it's anything, it could be anything and everything, but your health comes last. Remember, you can't serve others unless you are not serving yourself first. So if you want to be able to do that efficiently in the long run, you need to really focus on your health. And I had like a really, really tough time, or a big lesson rather, in the universe making me realize that. And this was when, of course, I got into the bank, and it was stressful, right? I mean, it was very stressful. Literally, I would go at like 7:30 in the morning and come back at like 8:30, 9 p.m. at night, and it was absolutely maddening. So many targets. I appreciated, of course, me finally being able to kind of go ahead in my career, but I just wasn't prepared, possibly because of all the work pressure. I remember waking up in the night, having nightmares. that my BM or my boss is screaming at me that, Payal, why is this not done? What's happening? So every night would be a disturbed sleep. I was barely eating right. Literally. Whatever. I wouldn't get time to do my meals. So, if someone ordered vada pav, that's what I've been having. Whatever options that I could get. There was no discipline. No discipline with my health. In fact, my health was not even a priority. My priority was, going to work. Yes, I enjoyed my work, but still there was a lot of pressure. And then once I come home, literally spend some time with my daughter, who was really young that time. She was barely, 3 years old, three and a half. Spend time with family, in-laws, and then crash, literally. So, what happens, when you don't give priority to your health? Well, probably the health or the body speaks back to you really loud, right? And I realized suddenly I started feeling lethargic, I started feeling tired, and I started gaining weight massively. And I was zapped. I was like, what's happening? I started having hair fall, skin was going dry. So I went for a health checkup, and it was discovered that I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism, which runs in my family. Yeah, it does. A lot of my aunts have hypothyroid. So I knew for one thing, right? I didn't want to live with this. I knew I had caused it, right? See, if my mind, because of all the stress, because of, unhealthy eating, and because of taking in a lot of stress, there's no outlet for stress. It's just taking in. I wasn't exercising, which would help me relieve stress. I wasn't doing meditation. I wasn't doing yoga. So, that's when I realized that if my mind has caused this disease or this lifestyle disorder to come inside me, I know that I have the power to take it out as well. Which is when I went to the top endos all across Mumbai, and all of them told me the same thing. Listen, it's no big deal. It's a lifestyle disorder. It happens to everyone. Just take like your thyroxine, and you're supplementing that hormone in the body and you'll be fine. But I was like, no, I want to make my thyroid gland work. I want to reverse thyroid. I don't want to live with it. And especially because I was kind of contemplating having a second child as well. So I wanted to really sort this out. And that's when I made up my mind. I said, come what may, I'm not going to leave a back door open that, hey, you know what, if I cannot reverse my thyroid, I'm okay to live with it. So I will try my best to reverse it. Those words, I didn't let it get in my mind. I basically told myself, this is the only way. You reverse it. That's it. There's no option. So I did whatever I could and whatever it takes. Okay, 3 months, really put in a lot of effort, had it up here that I can reverse this. And post 3 months I went for a checkup, and it had almost reversed back to normal. Switched to homeopathy for another 6 months, but in the 4th month itself it was fine, it was reversed. But I still continued for another few months because, hey, it's genetic. But even if it's genetic, you can still take charge of your health and be responsible towards it, right? So that's when I managed to reverse it. It's been like about 13-14 years. No, I haven't got it as yet. So it's not come back, right? And that's one thing that I realized, that if I want to become a better version of myself, and I want to do more as well, whether it's for my work, family, anything, everyone around me, I need to be responsible for my own health, right? So that's one of the things that helped me become a better version of myself. And lastly, one of the things that you need to really, really do, okay, when you want to become a better version of yourself, and if you're ready to become a better version of yourself, let go of your fears. How many of you realize that all these fears that you have in your head are stopping you from taking action and moving you towards a better place or space? And most of the time, if you're not taking that action because of the fear, it's because you're feeling protective and safe in your comfort zone. But growth always lies outside the comfort zone. So you need to grow as a person to become a better version of yourself. And you can do that by overcoming your fears, right? And I had this fear of speaking. The way I'm speaking right now, I wouldn't be able to do it like 3-4 years ago. I remember when Success Gyan came out with Super Speaker 1, and I thought, okay, you know what, I had just entered into a few communities of trainers, of course Thaddeus, way of the champions community, and I decided to do Super Speaker 1. And the first video I had to take a video, and we were told what to say. I must have done like 20 retakes, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so bad at it, I can't even look at myself in the camera, forget about speaking, right? And at one point I realized I need to let go of that fear, because there was a fear of speaking in front of the camera, there was a fear of also looking at myself literally, and I was judging myself, like I was being a big critic towards myself, and I wasn't really okay with going out of the comfort zone, facing my fears. But eventually I did that, and because I did that, I could speak. Okay, so apart from the fact that I made it to top 100 in the season 1, apart from that, it also helped me to build my own community, to do videos, to do YouTube videos, to do podcasts, to do anything and everything where I could give my message to people of health transformation, right? I'm a health transformation coach. I help people get fit, gain confidence, and live a better and a happier, healthier life, right? So I could do that. Why? Because I overcame my fear of speaking, and speaking coaching is a big part of helping my community reach their goals and give them the results that they're looking for, and help them to transform themselves. Now, this was only possible because I took that painful steps rather, to overcome my fears, and I did it. So for you to be a better version of yourself, think if these can help you, because these are truly valuable to me, and that's how I became a better version of myself. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome week and take care. Thank you.